All right, everyone. It's been a while, but I hope everyone has had a wonderful, wonderful past 3 days. I know I did. So as you guys know, we took a trip over to Cancun, Mexico for vacation. It was me, Gio, Clody, and Jordan. That's G-Tot, Lil Jortot, and Husky Rusky 45 in chat. And we had a lot of fun. Those are the people that I grew up with. I consider them my brothers, very close friends. The Cancun. I got a lot of shit for saying Cancun. What the fuck, you made a presentation? Yeah, bro. I thought I would get some little presentation stuff. My English teacher? No, guys, this is just here for like visual representation. All right, welcome to our little Cancun story time. I'm just gonna say Cancun. It's just easier. It's just easier for me. It rolls off the tongue easier. As you all know, I went on a trip over to Cancun. We spent about 3 nights there, 4 days total. And all in all I can say, it's a fun time. However, it did have a single downside that I'll get into. Anyway, we all left the 16th of August. Woke up bright and early to the airport. I got an hour of sleep, by the way. I streamed until way too late, and I literally could not sleep. I got an hour of sleep before I was woken up and had to go to the airport. Already at the airport, I'm dead tired. Me, Clody, Gio, Jordan, and then along with some others that we'll get to later. All up in the airport, we eat at Burger King for breakfast. And if you guys didn't know, Burger King's breakfast menu, actually fire. I'm not gonna lie. Sitting there, waiting for the plane to take off. And it's been 8 years since I've flown, let alone flew outside the country. And I forgot how much anxiety that airports give me. If you guys have never been it was also my first time traveling without my family. So I'm the one who actually had to go through all of the different little customs things and flight check-ins and all that shit. And I was hella confused. I felt so lost in this airport. But we got through fine. Flight went well. We landed in Cancun. Driver takes us to the resort. Now, the resort was beautiful. We stayed at the Windham Ultra. It was an all-inclusive deal, so it was about $385 for the flight, $285 for the all-inclusive. The all-inclusive includes the room, it includes the food that you eat, and includes the drinks that you may get. The resort looks horrible. What are you, blind? It was beautiful. Right by the beach, outdoor seating, very, very nice hotel rooms. Pool, beach, cabanas, everything you can think of, the resort had it. These are the pictures that we took. So included in the resort, there was a taco stand. This was my favorite place to eat at by far. So included in the resort, there was a Mexican restaurant, Asian restaurant, Italian restaurant, a buffet that served breakfast, lunch, and dinner, as well as a taco stand on the beach. And everything's all inclusive. So you literally show up, you give them your room number, and you can pretty much order whatever, eat whatever, all that stuff. It was wonderful. It was absolutely beautiful. Not having to worry about paying for food is the most convenient thing that you could ask for. All of the restaurants, the food was good. It wasn't like the best food that you could ever have, but it was good. It was good for what it was. The taco stand was easily the best. I will never go on a vacation unless it involves all-inclusive now. It was so nice not having to worry about how much money that I was spending on a vacation. They had a 24/7 coffee shop along with drinks, and they had sandwiches as well. This was a picture of the beach. Then this is a picture of pool, cabanas, the taco stand, and there's a picture of all us in front of the Cancun sign. The drinks that I had, I've never had so many drinks in my entire life. Since the drinks were all inclusive, there were 3 different bar locations. There was a bar in the lobby, there was a bar by the pool, and there was a bar by the beach. And you could order drinks from any one of them and not have to worry about paying. They gave you these wristbands basically, and they give you a blue one if you're over 18, and if you're under 18, they give you a red one. The wristbands were an indication of how old you were. If you had a blue one, you were good to go. You could order any drink that you wanted, because I guess the drinking age in Mexico is 18. So you can literally order endless drinks, and I tried a lot, right? So this was called a Riviera Maya. This was a mudslide, and it was basically coffee liqueur, and it tasted like an alcoholic frappuccino from Starbucks. It was beautiful. This was a tequila sunrise, I think it was, but the absolute favorite drink, the drink that I will miss the most, the drink that I ordered the most is this. It's called a mango margarita, sorry. We ordered back-to-back mango margaritas with a rim of tahini, and it was the most... that is the drink that I'm going to miss the most. That is the drink that if I know I order it in the US, it literally won't be the same. It was basically like a mango slushy. But yeah, this is all of us. This is me. This is Clody's sister. This is Gio, Jordan, Clody, and then Jordan's older sister. We're going over the positives right now. There was one negative where shit hit the fan, but we'll get to it. Along with the drinks, I have to tell you about the greatest bartender that has ever existed. His name was Patricio. We met him day one, and he put us on something called a kamikaze shot. We go up to the bar, we ask him for shots, and we're like, what do you recommend? He's like, well, I can make something for you guys. And he came up with this. Or I mean, didn't come up with it. He described it as like a sweet and sour shot. And we took it, and this is basically the only shots that we have taken like the entire trip. I'm pretty sure whenever we did shots, it was this along with like one tequila shot that was way too warm and I wanted to throw up afterward. Anyway, but he was the nicest guy ever. He became so accustomed to us that like whenever we would be waiting in line in the bar, he would actually like point to us and say like, come here, let me take your order. And we basically could like skip the line if he wasn't like super busy or anything like that. So he was great. Loved him to death. We tipped him a lot because he was so nice to us. How much did you tip him? I tipped him probably like, had to be like $40 total. The second and third night, I tipped him hella. I tipped him 40. I know like the others tipped him 40. Yeah, so he probably made like 200 off of us minimum, but he deserved it. He deserved it, bro. L tips. Listen, we could have... People were just not tipping. But yeah, he was super cool. We asked him for the picture. We took this after he closed up, because I believe that bar closed at 12, which is a little early, but it is what it is. Gio actually took a picture of him with his Polaroid, and he showed us like the next night that he actually kept the picture in his wallet. So I thought that was pretty fucking cool. So all-inclusive drinks meant that all of us could drink however much we wanted with pretty much no limit, because we didn't have to drive, we didn't have to go anywhere. All you had to do was drink and go back to the room. But what that results in is there was a lot of throwing up. So this is Gio and Jordan in the public bathroom. And Chloe's recording them going back and forth. They requested I show the video without sound, so I will honor their request. They're at 11:43 p.m. week. The bar did close at 12. We pretty much started drinking early. Yeah, we pretty much started as the bar opened, which is at 11 a.m. Pretty much drank all day until midnight. In terms of the trip, all in all, it was easily one of the best vacations that I could have ever gone on. I had so much fun. Only thing that we were unprepared for was the heat and humidity. As well as how much food we were eating, and how often we had to use the bathroom. So typically for me, I eat like one big meal every day. In Cancun, I had to make sure I got my $285 worth. So I was pretty much eating breakfast, lunch, and dinner, and just overindulging myself. And so did everyone else. So what happens is, pretty much everyone has to shit all day. I think all of us took at least 3 to 4 shits a day. And then in terms of how hot and humid it was, you would step outside for like 5 minutes and you're absolutely drenched with sweat. So not only did we shit 3 to 4 times a day, battling demons, fighting demons, we also had to change 2 to 3 times a day because of how sweaty we were. I thought I overpacked. I started running out of clothes. I was definitely reusing clothes. I packed 2 pairs of pants and I never used them because of how hot it was. Now, not everything was sunshine and rainbows. Not everything on the trip went according to plan. On night 2 of the trip, everyone's going about their normal day. Clody, Gio, and Jordan go out to play volleyball. While they're doing that, I didn't want to get sunburnt personally. I hate being like burnt, and I hate being sunburnt, and so I went to the gym because the hotel had like an all-inclusive gym. I go back out to the beach and I find them at the taco bar, and they met someone, so that I don't dox him, we'll name him Drake. But I go to the taco bar, and Gio, Clody, and Jordan actually met this guy named Drake. He was a guy from Texas, and he was there alone. So he didn't come with any friends or parents. He was just there alone, just sort of wandering the resort. He said that one of his friends is going to be joining him later in the night, and so he was pretty much waiting for his friend to get there. You know, I introduced myself, he introduces himself, and he was telling us we should go to a place called Coco Bongo, which was outside the resort, about like half a mile out. So everyone said that we would go outside the resort. We would pre-game at the resort bar because the drinks were free, and then we would just go out. So the time comes around, we're all drinking. We start about like 8 or 9. Start drinking hella shots. We meet his friend. We'll name him Josh. Drake and Josh. First impressions of Drake, right? He seemed pretty normal. He seemed pretty chill. The only thing that like maybe irked me a little bit was that he was kind of like a bro-y dude. Like every other sentence ended in bro, and then his sentence filler was bro. He was a little like frat guy-ish. But that's pretty much the only vibe that I caught from him. I thought other than that, he was pretty fine. We all have our drinks at the bar. Drake and Josh pulled up to meet Drake, and so we were talking with them. Time rolls around. I believe we left at 11:30. We told Patricio that we're going out to Coco Bongo, and he was like, why? The drinks here are free. And he's like, but you close at 12, so it's like we want to go out some more. We all gather up. Drake was telling us that, was it he's been there before, or like he has friends that have been there before, and he said that he could take us there. He said that it's not a far walk, because we did walk. And basically what Coco Bongo was, it was like a club, music, drinks, all that stuff. It kind of looked like this. So our plan was to go to this, as well as another place called H-Roof, but again, we'll get to that soon. The red flags started flying left and right once Drake and Josh had their drinks. Once Drake and Josh started drinking, and while we were walking with them, that's when my red flag radar was just going off the charts. The moment we start walking to the Coco Bongo place, Drake just starts spurting out the most obscene shit that I've ever heard from a human being's mouth. A human being that I was like there with in person, at least. But he pretty much started shouting the most obscene shit, stuff that I can't repeat on on Twitch. Basically slurs, all that stuff. Hard R at all. And that's when I was like, okay, we might be in trouble. Boys. They were two white dudes from Texas, so we couldn't leave. We were pretty much locked into the situation because we couldn't really just turn back and leave. We started heading over to Coco Bongo, and the area, I mean, was pretty cool. It pretty much looked like a Vegas strip, and there were like clubs, there were bars, and they were lining up the street. There was big decorations, big lights, anything and everything that you could see was there, right? Drake and Josh were pretty much leading the way because, again, Drake said that he's like been in that area, he knows how to get us there. However, upon entering the area, we get stopped. We get stopped by a quote-unquote guide, right? And the guide actually goes up to Josh, and the guide was like, hey, where are you guys trying to go? The guide talks to Josh, and I couldn't hear the conversation. I was pretty much in the back, like, making sure everyone was in my line of sight so that I didn't lose anyone and no one got lost. I assume he says something along the lines of, I can get you and your friends into Coco Bongo for free, and we'll get you into like the VIP section, something like that. Because all of a sudden, the group started following the quote-unquote guide. We walk past Coco Bongo. I see Coco Bongo on my left. We walked past it. I was like, huh, it's weird. Maybe there's two Coco Bongos. Maybe the VIP spot for Coco Bongo is in a different area. So we're walking, and all of a sudden, I see us skipping through lines. I'm like, huh, it's weird. Why don't we have to wait in this line? Eventually, the guide brings us to a staircase, and on the top of the staircase was a sign that said it was something like Maxwell's or something like that. And I'm like, huh, this isn't Coco Bongo. I go up the stairs. There's a security guard at the top. And he basically had to pat us down. He patted our pockets, make sure we didn't have anything. Asked to see our IDs. We showed the IDs. Once we were all clear, the guide leads us into a very dark room. Well, this doesn't look like Coco Bongo, that's for sure. That's for damn sure. We enter the dark room. It was dimly lit, and then I saw it. I realized where we were. On my left, a stripper pole. Next to that, stripper pole. Next to that, stripper pole. Strippers. On each pole. People were getting lap dances. All of a sudden, I'm like, oh, we're in a strip club, bro. We're in a strip club. Then all of a sudden, the strip club owner, like a waiter, comes up to greet us. They sit us down really fast. Strip club owner's like, come on. Let's get these guys in. Let's get their dances. Let's go. We all get sat down. We're all looking around. Then all of a sudden, Drake goes, how much is it? How much is a lap dance? And the guy was saying like something like $70 per. $70 for a lap dance. Drake looks at all of us. We all get at a team huddle. We have to get out of here. We're not paying $70 for a lap dance. And so they all start leaving. I try to get back up from my seat. The strip club owner grabs me, sits me back down. And he goes, no. I'm like, what the fuck do you mean? No. Am I going to get in trouble if I get up and leave for a place that I didn't even, like, I was brought here. I was led here. I didn't come here on my own free will. And so I brush his hands off. I stand up. I'm like, I can't do it. And we walk out. The guide, who was also there with us, starts following us again. He's like, no, you don't like this place? You don't like this place? That's okay. I can bring you to another place. And we start following him again. We start following the guide again for God knows why. Drake and Josh start following the guide. We start following Drake and Josh. Because maybe in our minds we were just like, maybe this time he'll bring us to Coco Bongo. He in fact did not bring us to Coco Bongo. He brought us to the second location. And we go up to like the third floor, I believe. I think it was the top floor. And we get brought to another place that was unnamed. It did not have a name. Security guard pats us down, asks to see ID, and we walk in. What was suspicious about this place was that there were just girls waiting at the entrance. And I was in the very back, so I was like watching as everyone went through. Josh, I can see his arm around one of the girls, and then he grabs her ass. I'm like, whoa. wait, what's going on there? And the girl escorts him to another room, because when you got into like the main, it was a bar. It was a main bar area. It was on a balcony. You got a view of the ocean. There was a hot tub there. There was a bar, and there was a stripper pole on top of the bar. Josh gets led to a different room because I did not see him in like the main bar area. Everyone's talking at the bar, talking about the game plan. The entire time, I really had to pee. Like, I was so, I just needed to pee. I couldn't think of anything else, but I needed to go to the bathroom. I need to pee. And so I did. I walked out of the bar. I go into the little bathroom area. I do my business. I try to walk back. When I try to walk back, there are 3 girls at the entrance of where I need to go, right? I'm like, oh, what the fuck ever. And so I just walk through. But as I'm walking through, one of the girls grabs me, feels me up and down just like that. Lower body, upper body, arm, everything like that. I'm like, whoa. She must know I'm Diamond in Valorant. Must want to carry. Not doing it, though. Anyway. I go back to the bar area. The guide is talking to like my group of friends. And he's giving everyone wristbands. And he's like, listen, this will get you free unlimited drinks at the bar. Just pay me $10 each, and you guys get free drinks at this bar. And so we were like, okay. Only thing was, he only had 4 wristbands. I did not get a wristband. And he's like, listen, the bartender will give you another wristband so that you can get your free drinks. I'm like, okay. So there were 6 of us. Jordan actually pulled out $60, paid the guy. And we're like, all right, well, what's done is done. Let's go to the bar. Let's get our free drinks. Bartender says, we don't have free drinks. We're like, what? We don't have free drinks. You got to pay for the drinks still. I was like, what the fuck did we pay that guy for? And she's like, well. So we got scammed. We paid $60 in promises of free drinks, and we didn't get free drinks. And so again, team huddle. It's like, what do we do now? I don't know. I guess we just leave this place, go to Coco Bongo, like the original plan was. Josh, as I was telling you before, went into another area with this escort, this girl. He was telling us, he's like, listen, guys, the girl charged me $300 for sex. We were like, what? He was like, listen, I tried to talk her into paying $300 for sex with like all of us, right? What? It's like, I was trying to get the boys involved, $300, and she would have sex with all of us. What the fuck are you talking about, bro? And then he's like, yeah, it was like $100 for lap dance. And we're like, no, obviously we're not doing that. No, thank you. So we leave, we try to go to Coco Bongo, and we get to the entrance of Coco Bongo, and apparently there's a cover for it. And we're like, okay, how much is the cover? The bouncer guy, whoever, the security guard guy, takes out his phone, and he does puts some numbers in his calculator. He shows it to us. $570 to get into Coco Bongo. $570 for the cover to get in. $570. We go back out. Another team huddle. It's like, what the fuck do we do now? I'm not paying $570 to get into the club. We go back up. It's a different lady working at the front. We go to the lady. We say, how much is it to get in? She tells us $90. $90 to get in. What happened to the $570? And then we go to leave again. She stops us. She's like, no, wait. $20. $20 to get in. Like, fuck that. We're gonna get scammed. So we leave. We don't go to Coco Bongo. We go to another place that was like across the street from Coco Bongo. I think it was called Senior Froggy or something like that. And this place, actually, they didn't have any security. You didn't have to pay a cover. You just went in there. We stayed at Senior Froggy's for a little bit. And I mean, we didn't get any drinks. We just sort of like sat at a table. There was a small little dance area that people were dancing at. Strobe lights going crazy. I never thought that I was at risk for an epileptic attack until I witnessed the strobe lights at Senior Froggy's. But pretty much, like, even Jordan got a headache. Jordan and Clody, I would say, are, like, the craziest partiers out of all of us. Even Jordan got, like, a headache. I don't even know what the plan was at this point. I was so, like, put off of everything that I didn't even know. All I knew is that I wanted to go back to the resort. That's all I wanted to do. We start walking back in the direction of the resort. However, we get stopped. We get stopped by a taxi driver. Once again, Drake and Josh fall right into the trap. They go, how much is it for a taxi ride back to the we were going back to the resort because they asked, it's like, how much is it to go back to the Windham Resort? Taxi driver said like $20 for the full ride. They looked at all of us. It's like, yeah, we'll take it. It's a 5-seat car. There's the driver, the passenger, 3 seats in the back. There are 6 of us. Drake and Josh were in the back along with Clody. Jordan was in the front. Me and Gio both look at each other. We were the last 2 to get in. We're not going to fit in here. Drake and Josh are pretty big guys. Clody is also another big guy. Me and Gio are both pretty big guys. It's like, we're not going to fit in. But they were like, come on, let's go. Me and Gio had to sit. I sat on Drake's lap. I think Gio was either on Josh's lap or Jordan's lap. It was the most uncomfortable car ride that I've ever been in. Fucking Drake put his hand his hand was wrapped around and he was like grabbing my right pectoral muscle. It's like, whoa, Drake, watch those hands, boy. I was pretty much doing a squat on Drake's lap because I didn't want to crush him with all of my weight. So I was pretty much holding on to the little car holder thing. I was pretty much squatting like this. My quads were on fire. But I was like, it's okay. We're going back to the resort. We'll be there in like 3 minutes. It's fine. All of a sudden, Drake says, wait, there was another bar that I wanted to go to. It's called H Roof. 3 miles that way. He tells the taxi driver, drive us to H Roof. Clody pulls up the location on his phone. Opens up in maps. We went from going to the Windham Resort to a bar called H Roof. The taxi driver obliges. He starts driving us to H Roof. And this is the final nail in the coffin where I deduced that Drake was an asshole. As we're about to approach the destination, Drake goes, let's not pay the taxi driver. I'm like, what do you mean don't pay the taxi driver? He's like, just don't pay the taxi driver. What is he gonna do? Drake. Listen, buddy. We may be in another country. Law enforcement still exists. He says this in the car. Don't pay the taxi driver. The taxi driver spoke English. The taxi driver knows English. We get out of the taxi. Again, Drake saying, don't pay the taxi driver, don't pay the taxi driver. Of course, Jordan pays the taxi driver, as he should. He didn't even charge us extra. He charges the $20. He drives off and we get to the destination. We go inside H Roof. We talk to the guy working the front desk. And we're like, hey, we're here to get into H Roof. How do we get into H Roof? He tells us that H Roof is only open on Friday and Saturday. We're there on a Wednesday. We are 3 miles away from the resort. 3 miles. We walk out. We can't find a taxi. Our only choice is to walk back to the resort. 3 miles. It is 1:30 in the morning. We are walking through the streets at dead of night. This is where I thought we were gonna die. If it was any moment in the night, this is where I thought we would die. Because not only were we walking dangerously late at night, Drake and his drunk ass decide to start shouting slurs at the top of his lungs. The most offensive slurs that you can think of. Not only that, he was shouting death threats. He said that he would be killing people as cars were driving by, as we were walking by other people out late at night. This is where we're gonna die. This is it. I accepted it. And I'm not okay with it. We tried to leave. We couldn't. We were all going to the same place. He had zero. I've never met another human being who had zero concept of consequences. As we're walking, not only is he shouting this obscene, absolutely obscene shit, he's also vandalizing everything that we walked by. There was a recycling bin. He fucking pushes all the trash out the recycling bin, floats out into the sidewalk. We walked past the payphone. He takes the payphone out of the slot. He slams it against the payphone wall. We found a car that was parked in the downward position. He decides to put his hand on the car from the back, and he tries to push it down the hill, and he goes, ah, damn, it's parked. What the fuck are you trying to do to us, Drake? At one point, a car was driving by. Drake shouts his usual thing. The car stops. And he goes, oh, hold up. We all freeze. A car that was driving about maybe 45 miles per hour all of a sudden stops when it passes us. And I'm like, okay, this is it, right? This is it for sure. We're dying here for sure. But the car drove off. Apparently it was like a family who was just looking for directions or that got lost or something like that. It took us about an hour to walk back to the resort. We finally get there. We finally get back to the resort. We all took a little time in the room where we looked at each other. We all said the same thing. I was fucked. That was probably the biggest L that we will ever take in our lives. We're all talking about, it's like, oh my god, those two were assholes. And we never saw them again. We spent the entire rest of the trip pretty much dodging them. They added Clody and Jordan on Snapchat. Apparently, they unadded them off Snapchat. Moral of the story, don't trust random people. Exactly. Be careful who you befriend. That was easily one of the craziest nights that I think I'll ever be on. And there you have it. The rest of the trip was pretty stress-free. Yeah, we all pretty much had our fun.